Alright guys, welcome back to JForce Gaming, and as you guys can know, alright, nowadays the internet is progressing really fast. Alright, previously we have probably like a few megabits per second now, and then we have reached up to 1 gigabits per second of internet speed, and now alright, in Singapore we have 10 gigabits of internet speed, and as well as even 20 gigabits of internet speed. Alright, so right now my current internet is subscribed to is 10 gigabits per second internet speed. Alright, and most of the time, most of my devices and my laptop, my PC, alright, the Ethernet port on the motherboard, alright, or on my laptop only support a maximum up to 1 gigabits per second. So, which is I'm really underusing my internet speed. Alright, so because although I'm paying for 10 gigabits per second internet speed, but my Ethernet only support 1 gigabits per second, so my internet speed is only 1 gigabits per second. So how do I solve this problem? Either I change to a motherboard that supports 10 gigabits per second, or another solution is to use this. So this is the WAVLINK USB-C, alright, RJ45, alright, Ethernet port adapter. So this thing can support 5 gigabits per second and 10 gigabits per second. Alright, so which is really incredible, and it will be a huge upgrade to it. And I love the fact that it's USB-C, because if it's USB-C, alright, it can support most of the recent laptops, alright, and even like your Steam Deck, your ROG Ally, alright, all the handheld devices, you can also use USB-C, so you have a much faster download and connection speed as well. Alright, or if you just want to have a faster transfer speed between your NAS storage, because some of the NAS storage support 10 gigabits per second, or even like RJ45 to your servers and such. Alright, so most of the time you are limited with the current hardware you have on your laptop or PC. But with this, alright, it can break through the hardware and give you a much better transfer speed. Alright, so right now we're going to just open this up, alright, to show you what you'll get inside the box. Alright, talk about a few quality and what it can do. Alright, after that I'm going to demonstrate to you of this connecting to my laptop, alright, and running a speed test to see how fast this thing actually can go. Alright, so right now let me just go ahead and unbox this and see what we get inside this package if we were to buy this. Okay, so we do get a quick start guide. Alright, you guys can take your time to read it. Alright, we do get like driver download links. Alright, over here, really cute mini disc, but it's not actually disc, just cover cutout. Alright, some warning signs over here. Alright, not really interesting. Alright, the interesting part is right over here. Alright, so this is the WAVLINK. Let me just get it out. Alright, how do I get this out? Okay, so it's coming out. And that's all. So this is what inside the packaging. Yep, that's all. Right, and yeah, this device is pretty tiny. Alright, but it's extremely well built. Alright, so this over here is metal, it's aluminium, I think. Right, yeah, it's pretty solid, extremely well built. Alright, with enough ventilation at the back, alright, to ensure that this thing doesn't overheat. Alright, and it's a RJ45 port right over here, with a USB-C. Alright, yes, and see, it's very nice. Alright, and it's actually lightweight as well, so you can use this like while traveling as well. It's not very big, so you don't take up much space. Then you have to connect it to your laptop, and bam, you're good to go. So yeah, it's very simple. It's just the RJ45 port, alright, to your USB-C. Alright, most of the time, like nowadays the MacBook or even my own laptop, alright, doesn't have so many ports unless you're using a gaming PC. Probably your own laptop doesn't even have an RJ45 port built in. So if you want or need an RJ45 port, alright, this is the only dongle that can give you RJ45 to USB-C. So right now we just connect this to my laptop, alright, and I'm gonna plug it into my 10 gigabit router or my Wi-Fi 7 router that have a RJ45 10 gigabit port. Plug it in. I'm gonna run a speed test, alright, and we're gonna see. Alright, so first I'm gonna show you a speed test on my Wi-Fi on my laptop on Wi-Fi. After that, I'm going to show a speed test with this. I'll plug in with the Ethernet cable, alright, on the 10 gigabits port, alright, on my router. So we're going to see the difference between the Wi-Fi speed and with this. Alright, so without further ado, let me just go ahead and go to my laptop and show you guys the demonstration itself. Alright, so right now I'm in front of my computer, alright, because my computer is nearby my router, alright, and this is my laptop, as you guys can see, alright. This is the my Surface laptop, all right, and most of the laptop nowadays, all right, doesn't have a lot of ports. As you guys can see, all right, over here is just the charging port, all right, and over the other side, all right, it's just a USB-C port, audio jack, and a USB-A port, and that's all. So there is no RJ45, all right, on my laptop. So most of the modern laptops nowadays, all right, all you have to do is to use dongle from the USB-C port. So yeah, so this thing can come in really useful. All right, so I have the dongle right over here, all right, connected to the RJ45. This is my Ethernet cable, as you guys can see. All right, this is a category 7 Ethernet cable, all right, capable of pushing 10 gigabits per second. I'm pretty sure category 6 and category 5E also can. So if you're using older cable, it should be able to push 5 gigabits per second, as long as it's under probably like 10 meters or something. All right, you guys can check out the specification. All right, so I'm just connect this, all right, to this one over here, all right, to the adapter. All right, right now, before I use this adapter to run my Ethernet speed, all right, do take note that I'm connected to my router. It's a Wi-Fi 7 router, all right, with Ethernet ports of 5 gigabits per second and 10 gigabits per second. And it's currently connected to 10 gigabits per second port on my router. All right, but this dongle can only push up to 5 gigabits per second, which is very fast already. All right, so just this a bit of disclaimer. All right, so right now I'm using fast.com, and why am I using this to test the speed? Is because fast.com can test over 1 gigabits per second. If I'm using speedtest.net, all right, it's only limited to probably like 1 gigabits per second of internet speed. So this one can test way more than that. All right, so right now I'm got my Wi-Fi connection. I don't know if you guys can see, but on my laptop, I'm currently connected to my Wi-Fi. All right, you guys can see the Wi-Fi logo over there. I'm going to connect Wi-Fi and see, all right, without using this dongle, what is the internet speed I get. So right now I'm getting about 380 megabits per second on my Wi-Fi speed. I'm going to rerun it twice, all right. So I will run it now. I'm going to run it the second time on my Wi-Fi speed to get about an average of my connection speed without this dongle. Alright, so you guys can see fast.com is about 430 megabits per second. Well, it's technically fast, it doesn't lag or what, but alright, I can get even more with the dongle itself. So this is capable of pushing 5 gigabits per second, which is insanely fast, can help me load and download things much faster, or even transfer to my NAS storage even faster as well. So right now I plug this into my laptop, you guys can see right over here. Alright, we're gonna just wait for it to show up. Okay, to show up my Ethernet, but let me just show you guys. All right, so yeah, it's connected to Ethernet 3 right now. All right, you guys can see right over here. All right, it shows 5,000 megabits per second. All right, you guys can take a look. Come closer. All right, you guys should be able to see 5,000 megabits per second right over here. All right, aggregated transfer speed. So yeah, this is what as advertised, all right, on this product. So it shows here. So right now it's connected to my Ethernet. All right, so okay, so right now it's connected to this dongle right over here. As you guys can see, it's connected to my PC. So right now it's running off the Ethernet cable. So right now I'm going to just retest the speed and see how much of a speed difference we get between Wi-Fi and with using this adapter. So right now let me just refresh it. Alright, as you guys can see, it went up to 3.1 gigabits per second. That is really fast. Alright, and for disclaimer wise, I'm testing my internet speed, not transfer speed between NAS storage. Alright, and it can achieve about 3.1 to 1.9 gigabits per second. That is like almost 5 to 6 times, alright, the increase in speed, or using this. Alright, and although this thing claimed that it can push 5 gigabits per second, which is true, alright, but unfortunately on my internet service provider, alright, depending on the time of the day, sometimes the server, the end server doesn't support this insane of transfer speed. So that's why the speed may varies, alright, but you guys can see it's capable of handling more than 1 gigabits per second, which is really good. Alright, let me just test one more time. As you guys can see, it's going up 2.0, 2.2, alright. So you guys can see the speed is very constant. Probably at night, there's a lot of bandwidth usage around Singapore. That's why I'm hovering around 1.9 gigabits per second. But sometimes during the day, I can achieve like 3,000 or 4,000 megabits, which is 3.4 or 4 gigabits per second, which is really, really incredible using this dongle. Alright, but you can see, alright, the speed on this, alright, is really, really incremental, and it's really, really amazing. I can download all the movies, or I can download games, watch movie in 8K and such without any lags and buffering. And compared to when I'm using Wi-Fi, or it can save me so much time even in downloading and uploading. And because this thing can support 5 gigabits per second, which is about can transfer about up to 500 to 600 megabytes of data per second. All right, if I'm using my NAS storage or my server, you can get probably 500 to 600 megabytes per second, or megabytes, all right, of data transfer speed, or even something up to 800 to 900 megabytes per second, which is really, really fast compared to, you're just using Wi-Fi to transfer to your NAS storage or your server, or using like a lower end dongle. All right, it's transferred way slower, so it can save me so much time, all right, to transfer the files I need, all these to my server or to my NAS storage, or have a much faster internet speed compared to using Wi-Fi. So this is a really, really incredible dongle that anyone wants to increase their internet speed on their laptop, or increase the transfer speed between their NAS storage or even servers as well. Highly recommend you guys to get this right over here, and it's really, really tiny, best for traveling and you travel around. So once you're done with it, close your laptop, all right, unplug it, okay, and yeah, so it's a really, really, you can just throw this in your bag, and it doesn't take up much space when traveling at all. So yeah, it is that cool. So yeah, as you guys have seen, the speed is really day and night differences. If I'm on my laptop with the ability of running of 10 gigabits per second of internet speed, I'm really, really limited to just my laptop Wi-Fi speed. But with this thing right over here, I can do my works much faster. I can upload video much faster. I can download things much faster. With this, it can save me a lot of time. It's really, really time saving. Like I said, this cannot only be used for internet speed. So probably if you don't have a 10 gigabits per second, or if you don't even have like a Wi-Fi 7 router that supports 10 gigabits LAN, alright, you can, if you have like a NAS storage at home or like a server, you want a faster connection between your NAS storage or server, alright, this thing will really help and really, really save you a lot of time, especially if you're transferring large file between your PC to the server via an 𝖩.𝖥𝗈iδι𝖾 internet cable. Alright, this thing can save you a lot of time, and it's a worthwhile investment because the amount of time saved, can be exaggerating. Alright, there's one thing I forgot to mention about this, is that this thing also supports Microsoft wake packet detection, alright, and as well as wake on LAN. So it's about these two features. If you need these two features, alright, this thing definitely supports them. Alright, and yeah. So if you guys are out there looking for a 𝖩.𝖥𝖾ИΣIදි𝖾 to USB-C dongle, alright, look no further than this, because this thing is really, really well built. You guys can see the quality is really, really well built. Alright, it's aluminium with a heat fins over here to efficiently dissipate heat, so ensure it doesn't overheat. Very lightweight, very small size, very compact, perfect for traveling. Alright, it supports up to 10 gigabits per second. Alright, so most of these like 𝖩.𝖥ЛISIදිL to USB-C dongle out there, I see out there, alright, a lot of them doesn't even support 5 or 10 gigabits per second. Alright, most of the time you only support maximum 2.5 gigabits per second. So this is really, really incredible dongle right here. So once again, if you guys want to check out this WAVLINK 𝖩.𝖥ЛISIදිL to USB-C dongle, you guys check out the first link in the video description down below and go ahead and get it for yourself. So yeah, that's all for today, guys. If you find this video very interesting and really helpful, do let me know in the comment section as well. And without further ado, this is 𝖩force Gaming, and I shall see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
I don't wanna cry.